And may it please this honorable cohort, I am Advocate Vedant Patil, representing state of Maharashtra against apparently Union of India. In this case of Fellowship Funchayat episode number 4. And if with your honor's permission, I would like to present the parties to the case. And firstly, we have Meemansa Singh from Far East, Arunachal Pradesh. She has done her bachelor's in law from JSS Law College, Mysore, and master's from TIS in Mumbai. Secondly, we have with us Shefali Anand, who is MGNF in Ashoknagar district of MP, and she has done both her bachelor's and master's from NLU Bhopal. And finally, we have Krati Singhai. She has done her bachelor's in law from NLU Patiala and master's in law from NLU Bhopal. And she's the only one who thinks I do not belong on this panel. All right. So, hi, I am Vedant Padil. I am MGNF posted in Latur district of Maharashtra. I have done my bachelor's in law from ILS Law College, Pune, and PGD in environmental law from NLU, Delhi. And I hope the viewers are fairly aware by now that all of us present on this panel are lawyers. And somehow we have found us a desire to pursue a career in public policy that we are exploring some spaces thanks to MGNF. So yeah, so yesterday when I was trying to assemble this panel or maybe more fellows, I asked a certain person from Telangana, and then this guy tells me like there are no lawyers in our IIM Udaipur cohort, which is why probably we are very peaceful. So like,
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I was like, yeah. I mean, if anyone out there feels like, the bunch of us over here are like very arrogant, opinionated, really evil people who have very boring lives, who have nothing to do but read those humongous, like voluminous books of law and law journals, look at us there. You are absolutely right. Okay.
See, we are always the people who are, sending long emails to Nimi.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's a good notion to
Exactly.
have, though. I support this
Yeah.
completely.
When it comes to drafting mails, हमारी ही
Yeah.
याद आती है.
Yeah.
So, well,
I mean, after all the long and nonsensical emails people draft in my code, then I am the
Yeah.
one to correct it, like drafting my changes, grammar changes, everything. So yeah, and let's start our discussion for tonight. First, I'd like to pass on to Krati.
Hi, everyone. I'm Krati Singhai. I am Mahatma Gandhi National Fellow posted at Mandla district of Madhya Pradesh. So, talking about my experiences in the district first. So this fellowship was initially this fellowship for me was a backup option. So I was preparing for judiciary, and then since during the COVID, I think the same goes with Shefali also. Both of us were preparing for the
Yes.
judiciary, but then it was so frustrating just studying with no, there was no exams in long vision. We cannot just see see exam dates anywhere. So it was
Correct.
so exciting. It was so irritating. I was like, I will go into the first job which I get. So
Okay.
at the time of MGNF, I had like two options. First, I had an opportunity from this Indore में जो law college है ना, Indore Institute of Law. So I had an offer from there, and I had this MGNF. So I was like कि यार अब 25 की उम्र में lawyer उधर teacher बन जाओगे, इतनी boring सी life होगी, तो क्यों ना कुछ thrill करते हैं. Because I have been a student, I have seen teachers, and I know कि हम क्या ही करते थे यार teachers. तो
Yeah.
इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि अब थोड़ा सा लाइफ पहले एंजॉय कर लेते हैं. Let's just come out of my comfort zone because it was getting too comfortable at home. So I was like ठीक है, अब बहुत हो गया घर पे, अब कुछ भी एकदम एक्सट्रीम कुछ भी नहीं बिना सोचे अब चले जाओ. एंड मुझे जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट मिली थी ना वो भी ऐसी थी, मैंने कभी सुना नहीं था, मतलब मेरी जीके इतनी कमजोर भी नहीं है, बट मंडला इतना छोटा है कि मैंने कभी नहीं सुना था मंडला क्या है. सो आई जस्ट हैड टू गूगल कि वेयर द हेल इज दिस प्लेस. फिर मैंने देखा अच्छा यहाँ के लिए ट्रेन, वहां पे स्टेशन ही नहीं है. मैं सोच रही हूँ IRCTC ढूंढ ही रहा है, मंडला मिल नहीं रहा. व्हाट द हेल इज दिस. फिर मैंने पता किया ग्रुप में कि गाइस बता दो मंडला है कहाँ, वहां जाते कैसे है. फिर एक जबलपुर के भले मानुष ने बताया कि तुमको जबलपुर तक आना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद यूल गेट अ बस. मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है, हम रेड बस पे बस के देखते हैं कि क्या टाइमिंग है. रेड बस पे एक बस अवेलेबल. फिर मैंने पूछा यार कैसे जाएंगे. देखिए मंडला में तुमको रेड बस से बस नहीं मिलेगी, तुमको बस स्टैंड पे खड़ा होके वो लोकल वाली बस में ट्रैवल करना पड़ेगा. एंड मुझे दिमाग मतलब इमेजिन कि मुझे कितना डिफिकल्ट हुआ होगा ये वाला सोचना कि एकदम जो, क्योंकि यार कोविड के टाइम पे ना वी, और मतलब आई पर्सनली स्पीकिंग फॉर 2 years आई हैव हैड लाइक टोटल पापा की परी वाला थिंग कि आई वाज डूइंग नथिंग जस्ट एट होम either studying or I also did my masters online. तो बहुत ज्यादा ड्रास्टिक चेंज था एकदम से मंडला चले जाना। तो बट फिर वही दिमाग में था ना यार कि भैया इंडिपेंडेंट होना है, घर पे ही रहेंगे क्या जिंदगी भर, जुडिशरी का तो कुछ बन नहीं रहा है। फिर तो हम सोचा चलो ठीक है चले जाते हैं। फिर उसके बाद वहां चले गए एंड स्टार्टिंग में ऐसे ही था, क्योंकि ऐसा होता है ना कि बीइंग ऐसे जैसे आई थिंक हेयर माय लॉ जो मेरी डिग्री है इट मेक्स मी वेरी बोल्ड एंड यू नो मतलब आउटस्पोकन कि मैं किसी से भी कुछ भी मुंह पे बोल देती हूँ। एंड मैं जा रही हूँ ट्राइबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट जहाँ पे पीपल आर सो शाई टू इवन टॉक एंड इवन यहाँ पे लड़के लड़कियां तो छोड़ो, किसी का मुंह नहीं खुलता यार वहां पे। उसमें मैं नॉर्मल अपना इंट्रोडक्शन इतना हाई पिच में देती हूँ, पीपल आर सो इंटिमिडेटेड। तो मेरे साथ शुरू में इतना ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम हुआ था। फिर आई स्टार्टेड टू लर्न टू यू नो जहाँ पे आप बैकग्राउंड आप जिस जगह पे हो उस तरीके से रहना कि ठीक है इतनी तेज नहीं बोलना, थोड़ा अपना पिच स्लो कर देना है, थोड़ा धीरे धीरे, मतलब मेरा जल्दी जल्दी बोलने की भी आदत है तो ठीक है थोड़ा धीरे धीरे बोलना, ऐसे कर करके शुरू में एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत ज्यादा हुए थे। बट फिर उसके बाद या इट सेटल डाउन कि ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद शुरू में भाव भी नहीं मिलता था कि ना हम डीसी के ऑफिस में बैठे रहते थे बाहर, फिर उसके बाद आधे घंटे बैठे हैं, फिर डीसी उठ के सामने चली गई क्या फायदा हुआ बैठने का, चले गए। फिर डेटा कलेक्शन करने जा रहे हैं, पहले कोई गाड़ी वाड़ी भी नहीं देता था, ऑटो में जा रहे हैं, फिर जा रहे हैं धूप में घूम रहे हैं। अब तो कोई मतलब ऑटो तो मैंने देखा ही नहीं पिछले 6 महीने में अपने जीवन में। बिकॉज शुरू में क्योंकि ये ना हमारी फेलोशिप के फर्स्ट फेज और सेकंड मतलब जो फर्स्ट ईयर और सेकंड ईयर में एक बहुत मेजर डिफरेंस आया है। तो ये मतलब ऐसे काफी वी एक्चुअली पर्सनली मुझे ऐसा लगता है भले ही करियर में ये फेलोशिप मुझे कहीं ना ले जाए, बट पर्सनल ग्रोथ में आई हैव लाइक गॉन अ माइल बहुत। अब जो भी आपका एक पर्सनल जोन था, आपका जो सेफ जोन था जहाँ आपके माँ बाप ने आपको जिंदगी भर रखा है, आप एकदम से उठ के वहां से एकदम ड्रास्टिकली बहुत दूर चले गए। एंड आप जैसे हम दिल्ली मुंबई में जॉब करते हैं, सो वी हैव लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स अराउंड, तो यू नो देयर आर पीपल, यू आर नॉट फोर्स्ड टू टॉक टू रैंडम पीपल। यहाँ पे कोई है ही नहीं। आई वाज फोर्स्ड टू मेक फ्रेंड्स, टू हैंग आउट, यू नो टॉक टू पीपल, गेट टू नो पीपल, थोड़ा टाइम पास करने के लिए। इवन मैंने कभी इमेजिन नहीं किया था इफ आई एम लिविंग समवेयर आई विल ट्राई टू बी फ्रेंड्स विद लैंडलॉर्ड चलो बोर हो रहे हैं नीचे जाके आंटी के साथ टीवी देख लेते हैं so it was very new experience for me, and I would have not traded this for anything else. So yeah, it has been amazing.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
And Shefali?
Okay, hi. So my name is Shefali Anand. I'm posted in the district of Ashoknagar of Madhya Pradesh. And as you guys like have guessed abhi tak, I have my background in law degree, which is great. And मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था that I would get to be in a fellowship. And this was genuinely not my first priority for sure. I was, I graduated in 2019 and then I started my master's. And then I was like, I need a job. I can't study anymore. And then COVID hit, of course. So uske karan there was a lot of lack of options that we had. And then there's this ad came to my, rescue where there was this I am written, Ministry of Skill and Development was written. I was literally charmed. I was like, dude, this is it, I get to be like, the tag of I am was a charm to me for sure. I was like, this is good money as well. So why not? Let me try for this. And then uske baad you get to be a part of the central government, as well. You get to flaunt that, yeah, bhai, we are from central government and all that. So it's a great deal, I believe. So I was like, okay, let me try for this. But I was, since, in entry level, you get to do maths and all that. And I'm a little weak in maths and all that. So I was not sure that whether I'll get into this or not. So I was like, okay, okay. But still, their hopes are high. Why not? So I did that. Somehow I cracked this exam, got into this. And while I was doing my interview, like when I had the interview, so the professors were from IMA, of course. I remember very vividly. So they were like, why do you want to join MGNF? Like, you can get a job easily anywhere since you are from, NLIU and you have 2 degrees from NLIU. You can get, of course, a job very easily. And in my mind, I was thinking, I am not getting any job. I'm penniless right now. I really need a job. Please don't say this. So I was like, okay, but listen, I want to do something. And I was like, but I was convinced since I knew this is a route where we get to see the problem district में क्या चल रही है, and you get to directly report it to the center, जहाँ पे problems का solution मतलब exactly मिलने वाला है. So this was a great opportunity. I tried to convince them, see, I'm looking for this only. So of course, and as Krati said, कि बीच में this brief period जो आया था, we were preparing for judiciary because we wanted to clear that. Of course, stability आती है. इस job के साथ, like MGNF fellowship के साथ, there is this how do I say it? It's not a problem or an issue, but हाँ ये चीज है कि this is like a temporary nature में. So now you're very unsure कि क्या करना है क्या नहीं. Your mom dad are also happy, but they're not really proud of कि ठीक है मतलब
अच्छा ठीक
okay
है
you're doing
फेलोशिप कर ली बट
this.
लाइफ में क्या
Yeah,
करोगे
they're like
आगे?
yeah fellowship ही है. This is a temporary nature that you are doing. और पैसे तुम लोग colleges में, because law colleges में fees बहुत होती है, बहुत ज्यादा. So they spend lakhs on us and they're like okay now तुम 50,000 and what is this?
Yeah.
I'm just like ठीक है, this is the starting, let me just
But you have felt like the nature of permanent jobs and the way it is
yes
shifting now. So
yes
largely it is moving on to the contractual nature where like, but still
correct.
I can see that I have a deadline. इसके बाद में ये नहीं होने वाला है. So I'll
It
start looking
scares
for
you a
something.
lot. It really scares you a lot, stress you out also. और काम को लेके also you're just like कि ठीक है अब 2 मतलब 8 महीने बाकी, how are we going to finish this project जो आपने
Yeah.
अभी start किया like in the district. So of course it's a time taking thing. And law background में of course you get a lot of opportunity to do something great and all that. और district में when you get to know this कि ठीक है this person is a lawyer and all that, they get intimidated for sure. और ऐसा हुआ था, they're like कि मैम आप यहाँ क्या कर रही है and all that thing. But the collectors and CEO, like in my district especially, they were really supportive. And when they got to know that, she's a girl, यहाँ अकेले आके she's trying to live and she's a lawyer, they were really impressed and they were very happy. I'm seeing that girls are actually, going ahead of their ways and trying to, break the shatters. कि ठीक है, she's a lawyer and she's coming here and trying to do something
Yeah.
good for herself. So it was a great, like abhi so far, it's a great experience. I have done a lot of projects abhi until now, which includes like one of my major projects was I tried कि मैं जो jail inmates में like women jail inmates उनको I try to give trainings. तो उनको मैंने tomato ketchup वगैरह की trainings देने के लिए start किया था, because I had this law background as well, plus my master is in international human rights. So I wanted to connect all of them. So I try to design this. So we did this and I had full support of my district administration for sure. And it was a great project. I got to see a lot of change in them after that project as well. So law background did really help me for sure in all these things. So I think I'm very happy to, be a part of MGNF cohort and all this thing, because you get a lot of exposure for sure. Even when you go to IM, when we get the training periods, it's some next world only. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad to be a part of this.
Okay. And finally, over to you, Meemansa.
Yes. So my story is like little different from Krati and Shefali's, so to say. So what Vedant has already introduced me, that I studied law from this very like not so conventional local law college, like we would call it. It's in Mysore, and it's under Karnataka State Law University. So it was a very we didn't have much exposure because it was a small place and very small college and everything. So our amount of exposure was ki you go to Surana and Surana moot court competition or some like big moot court competition, and that's your level of exposure. And if you have won over there, though, oh my God, that's like you have achieved the best thing in life or whatever. So that was the goal at that point of time, and I just tried my hands at everything that could. And that's the beauty of I think legal education, that you get to try so many different things. It's very diverse. And that's one stereotype that people have, that's like all lawyers or advocates do is practice law, which is not true. I think law is one area of education where you have so many like different opportunities to look into without having to like change your field or anything like that. And same, I also finished my BLLB in 2019 and went on to do my master's in TIS Mumbai, and my master's is in access to justice. So it's an LLM in access to justice. So it becomes very difficult to explain what it is. It's अच्छा ये क्या होता है? And the easy way to explain is that social lawyering also people don't understand many times, like human rights, manavadhikar. Basically, it is like trying to make justice systems more accessible to specifically marginalized or ostracized communities and stuff like that. So our LLM was also extremely focused on field work and like primary research and stuff like that. So our dissertation was focused like that, and similarly we had to do some kind of field work. So I was placed with Maharashtra State Women's Commission, and
Mhm.
that kind of motivated me or had some kind of impact to like continue that line of work, maybe like put that degree to use, so to say. And well, COVID ho gaya. So I had actually cleared a fellowship where I was supposed to stay in rural Bihar for 2 years, and it was something called a period fellowships. I was supposed to work on areas of wash and health rights and the likes, but then the fellowship got suspended because of COVID. And it was little like I saw like everything that I had planned just crumble down in front of me, and I was like, ab kya karu main? And I had never like thought of preparing for judiciary or like civil services or anything like that. That was not my goal, because I don't know, I just wasn't interested in that, I guess, and it's a respectable job and all that, but just not for me. But abhi there's nothing else to do, so kuch to karna hai. So started studying, and I was like, chalo theek hai, yahi kar lete hain, let's see. Even wrote some exams and everything, didn't clear it, of course. And then like at one point I was just like desperate to do something, because there's nothing to do, and I had not known life without work. Because so since I was in college, I was working in areas of I had started my own NGO with a few friends when I was in second year law. So we used to work on areas of menstrual health, hygiene management and stuff like that. And I was extremely active in like this social activism and stuff. So now suddenly there's nothing to do, and I was like, just like mental health gone to the drain and everything. So this one fellowship came up in 2020, just like few months after I graduated, which was in Jindal Global Law School. So it was a teaching and research fellowship, and I applied for it, and I got in as well. I was like, chalo theek hai, something. And even though teaching was something that I would have enjoyed, but it was not fun teaching 64 students on a black screen. And it was like सुबह 8 बजे उठ करके आप क्लास ले रहे हो, तो पता भी नहीं है कि सामने वाले मतलब मेरे स्टूडेंट्स सो रहे हैं कि जग रहे हैं, कुछ पता नहीं है. This it's literally 2.5 hours you're talking to a black screen, and it was so pointless at times. And it was not at all rewarding, like in any way. I mean, the work was good, the research part was really nice, I learned a lot, so to say, but I was not happy with my work. And I've been constantly running around. I was doing a side hustle for which I went to Kerala. I stayed in Kochi for like 10 months. Then again, COVID second phase happened, and I was stuck over there. It was just like too many things happening all at the same time. And then after some time, I was like, nahi ho raha hai ye sab. Ye kaam chhodna padega. Cannot do this. So, and then I was looking for such opportunities to work on field, because that was something that I had planned in the first instance, right? And I'd applied for this another program, which was with Ministry of Social Justice and Welfare as well, but I didn't get in there. I had also applied for the CMULF, Urban Leaders Fellowship of Delhi, the like CMGGA and all of that. And then MGNF came, so I applied for that. So I was applying for all of these like similar kind of fellowships. And CMGGA, I had cleared few rounds, but I did not like clear the whole of it. And so I was just, so at that point there was just that Jindal se nikalna hai. So I was applying for all of these things. And then I had applied for this NLU Delhi ka fellowship as well, which was, again, it was similar to what I was doing.
The Project 39A wala? Yeah.
No, this was also teaching and research ka ek alag se tha.
Okay.
So it had come out, and so I'd applied for that as well, and I had cleared both MGNF and the NLU Delhi fellowship. But then and my like folks at home were also like, okay, you decide, because after all you have to do whatever it is. And I was like, जिंदल में तो वही कर रहे थे ना, तो वापस क्यों करना है NLU Delhi में same चीज. I was like, and anyways, like this was something that I did want to do since the very first. And fun fact, because so I chose Arunachal as my preferred state of immersion, and that increased my chances of getting into the fellowship, and I had no clue about this. it was a whimsical decision. It was a completely whimsical decision. I chose Hindi as the language, and I was like, UP nahi, Bihar nahi, Delhi already developed hai. What skill development is there? And I was looking to like go to a state where I had never been, where I had no contacts, where I could explore like a new area or whatever. So I was actually looking at applying for Himachal or Madhya Pradesh. And turns out Arunachal was there, and I had no clue that Arunachal mein Hindi bolte before this. Like most people, I won't say all, but like a lot of people, you know, in the rest of India are extremely unaware how things work in the Northeast, right? And so I was just like, this looks interesting.
You've been
So
a total Dora the Explorer. You've been to Kochi, you've been to Delhi,
Yeah.
you've been to Mumbai, and then
But
all
I
over.
mean, that's so brave and bold of you to, do
Literally.
all these things and choose all
Exactly.
these things. Like,
I've
literally,
been
very
waiting to
proud of you
ask
to
you
do this.
since last 10 minutes that you've been talking that, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, but then I had no clue, and like apparently not a lot of people, I mean, yeah, choose Arunachal. And that increased my chances of getting in the fellowship, because my marks were not that great as compared to my batchmates who had chosen for to be placed in Delhi or like other other states and everything, and they were given Arunachal as a second option ki yahan pe hai to aap आइए. And it was rather easy for me क्योंकि मैंने first ही select कर दिया था. I was like, अरे ये तो बड़ा ही अच्छा हो गया. I have no clue. So, and but I mean, the journey over here has been like extremely rewarding as well, because touchwood, I had a great mentor. My DC was like literally, I did not find a boss like him ever in life, and he was. I mean, he made me work like a donkey, but that was also the reason why I understood so many, so many things about governance and about administration, and like a lot of things he also taught me, like how to sort of get funds out, and like talking with diplomacy with ministers and things like that. He used to like really include me in all of these meetings since day one. He was just very happy that somebody has come to Arunachal to work, because we are anyways so short on manpower. So एक like इंसान आया है, अब इसको निचोड़ो.
Right.
So that was his perspective, I guess, and like he really like made use of like whatever I had to offer, and also like guided me through different projects, and he gave me a lot of क्या बोलते हैं, autonomy also to like just do things the way I wanted to do, which was something not a lot of people were getting. And I mean, it of course there was pressure, because I was like, if I do something gadbad, तब तो बैंड बज जाएगी and फिर कुछ काम नहीं मिलेगा उसके बाद. But then I mean, so, and at the same time, because of how he included me in the work and in the administration, also the other HODs were very supportive, and they were also of this like thing कि अरे हाँ कोई लड़की आई है इतने दूर से and पढ़ाई लिखाई करके in Arunachal, of all the places that she could go to. So yeah, and I mean, I had of course challenges on personal level, because it's not an easy place to live. So like I think when Krati was talking about like transportation and autos and everything, so I was just like remembering my first few days as well, क्योंकि गाड़ी तो भाई let's be honest किसी को नहीं मिली. हमें झूठे वादे भी किए गए थे कि घर मिलेगा घंटा. I mean, like, I was literally for one entire month, I was camping around. And at one point, when I had to stay in a training center, because one night there was no place to stay, my circuit house से मेरा सामान निकाल दिया क्योंकि VIPs आ रहे थे. And I was working on the first project. So there were like one LEDP and two MEDP projects that were starting. So like from literally like 2 days afterwards. So I was working on that during the day. I was like, facilitating things and everything. And back of my head, I was like, आज रात सोने के लिए जगह नहीं है, आज रात सोने के लिए जगह नहीं है.
Wow.
and ended up staying in one training center. It was dingy. It was like 10 by 10 ka room, and the entire room was like very dirty and everything, and the windows were broken. And this is December in Arunachal. It's cold, it's windy. And I just remembered, like, I didn't sleep. I was wrapped in my blanket the whole night, and I was sitting and I was like, ye le adventure, mil gaya. But
Wow,
See,
yeah, and
I was the only one who played really safe, okay? Like, when
hats off to
last
you,
year jab mila,
yeah.
1 week later, like 2 weeks before the fellowship started, I had already seen one place and gotten really nice 1 BHK. So,
Wow. You won't believe, like when I got posted to this Ashoknagar, I didn't even know that Ashoknagar existed before I got posted. I was like, where is it? Is it in Madhya Pradesh? Why didn't I know this before कि अशोकनगर जैसी कोई
right,
जगह भी
शिवाली
है?
तो बोल रही थी भोपाल से इतनी पास जगह है तो बस से जा सकती, फालतू में रो रही थी, अब मुझे 12 घंटे लगते हैं ट्रैवल करने में।
I was very sad. I was like, ये क्या है? कौन सी जगह? It was of course a culture shock. I mean, as these two mentioned, ये
major.
culture shock तो है, major culture
When
shock.
I
Like,
had sorry, go ahead, Shefali.
please go ahead. Please
No,
go
no,
ahead.
it's okay. Continue.
No, I was like, when I went to Ashoknagar, I was like, what is this place? Trains क्यों नहीं चल रही हैं यहाँ पे? How do I get there? And then buses, I was like, एक बस चलती है, वो भी खराब हो जाती है हर दूसरे या तीसरे दिन. I'm like, how do I get to my home? I need to go to my mom. And I was like, क्या है ये? क्या जगह है? How do I do skill development? यहाँ तो हर जगह development की जरूरत है, not only skill. I mean, we need other fellows. Please लेके आओ हम लोगों को.
True,
Culture
true.
shock. बहुत
I
culture
was
shock.
seriously, so like the transportation system over, so thankfully, I had never heard of East Kameng either in my life. When I was applying for Arunachal, I was like, oh Tawang, oh Zero, oh Bombilla, what a life, पहाड़ों में रहेंगे and everything, right? And then enter East Kameng, and I have to give you this context. So East Kameng, I mean, the people here are like, of course, like all places, there are like good and bad people and everything. But East Kameng mein, it's sort of like the Haryana of Arunachal. No offense to
Oh my
Haryanvis.
God.
No offense to Haryanvis. It's just that like people are very मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, unabashed in the way they are. So मतलब कुछ भी बोल देते हैं जो मतलब मन में है वही जबान पे है उस तरह से, right? And like very crass in that way. So people like would perceive that to be rude, right? And like so the tribe that is over here, Nishi, they are also called like, they're like the Jats of Arunachal, sort of like that or whatever, because like they're just like that, you know, मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, bold and matlab crass and all of that. So it's like that. But then at the same time, they're also very matlab transparent in how they are, and that makes life very easy. So because of that, East Kameng has sort of like a notorious image. Okay, so until like 3 to 4 years back, it was a very unsafe place to come to. There were no roads, there was no internet and all of that. But then like things have become much better now. So the roads are very nice. There's good internet that we get here. At times वो कभी कभी आता जाता रहता है, but उतना तो चलेगा अभी. और in Arunachal, what are you expecting? So, but then still we have only one sumo that comes from Itanagar, सुबह 6 बजे.
oh.
And if you miss that, that means you take the sumo the next day. So that is it. Okay. And so now I have figured out, because 6 बजे हमेशा मतलब, and यहाँ से भी is the same. If you have to go to Itanagar, so same thing. Morning 6 o'clock you have to leave. If you don't get that, the next day. But hitchhiking works, guys. So now I've cracked hitchhiking in Arunachal, and you just need to like go to the spots. मतलब highway पे कुछ spots हैं, तो वहाँ तक आप पहुँच जाओ. And then from there, whatever car is going, you actually stop and you like hitchhike with them. And people do give you rides because like they are also aware of how bad the transportation
But is
and
it safe?
system is. It is,
मेरी
and
तो
so far
हिम्मत
that's
ही नहीं
good.
पड़ेगी यार किसी स्ट्रेंजर की गाड़ी में बैठने की।
यार मतलब option नहीं है ना.
हाँ, correct.
Right.
ऑप्शन ही नहीं है
बात
आपके
है
पास ना, तो मतलब क्या करोगे फिर? तो फिर मतलब it's the same thing. या तो आप वहीं पे पड़े रहो मतलब, and then that also comes with a lot of cons that you have to like schedule your entire routine again around it and everything, like, and miss out on one whole day just because you missed the sumo. And many a times there's मतलब problem हो जाती है because sumo भर गई, जगह ही नहीं है अभी, now what to do? So stuff like that. I actually, so most of the times I get like a car or something like that, but this one time, and it's Itanagar is like 5.5 hours away from here. Okay, almost more like 300 kilometers or so. And this one time I was not getting a car and I had to come back to SEPA, which is East Kameng headquarters. I ended up taking a like lift on a bike
Okay.
from
Wow.
Itanagar, and by the time I reached SEPA, my legs were vibrating. Like मैं bike से उतरी हूँ and I was like, oh my god, I'll fall.
Wow.
So I mean, experiences MGNF in Arunachal is just something else. Like when you talk about personally and professionally, of course, it differs from the district
Yeah.
to district, depending upon how the administration is, how willing the administration is to put you to use. I mean, बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं मतलब they get frustrated क्योंकि कुछ काम ही नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ काम ही नहीं मिल रहा है, लेके जाओ तो भी they are like, मैडम क्यों कर रहे हैं इतना काम, आप भी आराम करो, हम भी आराम करेगा.
I know.
So I mean, that happens, right? And I don't think that's only in Arunachal, that's in many places. एक जगह की बात तो है नहीं है. तो professionally तो वो differ करता ही रहेगा. I was just lucky in that case, I guess.
मुझे तो शुरू के 3 महीने भाव नहीं मिला. फिर AM2 के बाद हमको वो वाला आया था ना, वो स्पेशल प्रोजेक्ट जो निमी का उसका MSD का आया था. So what happened is कि हमारी ट्राइबल डिस्ट्रिक्ट है तो स्पेशल, अब मैं डीएम के पास गई 2 करोड़ के प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोजल के लिए कि मैम मैं क्या करूं, 2 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट प्रपोजल बनाना है. तो nothing good came out of that project proposal except the fact that the DM actually started acknowledging कि हाँ ये काम की लड़की है.
Your existence.
राइट. तो उस टाइम पे उन्होंने मुझे एक्नॉलेज किया कि हाँ ये एक्चुअली में इधर टाइम पास नहीं कर रही है, शी नोज स्टफ एंड हम इनको. तो उसके बाद शी स्टार्टेड टेकिंग मी सीरियसली. तो फिर उसके बाद मैं जो 2 आइडियाज लेके आई, क्योंकि अब मेरे पास फंडिंग का तो कोई सिस्टम था नहीं, तो अब मैंने सोचना शुरू किया अब अपन क्या करते हैं, जो ऑलरेडी ट्रेनिंग चल रही है आप उसमें क्या कर सकते हो, कि पैसे कोई ऑलरेडी दे रहा है, हमको किसी को मनाने नहीं पैसे देने के लिए. तो क्योंकि ट्रेनिंग जो ऑलरेडी चल रही होती है वो बहुत ट्रेनिंग दे के छोड़ देते हैं. तो मैंने जब मैं अब एक ऐसी ट्रेनिंग पकड़ूंगी मैं जिसमें वैल्यू एडिशन कर पाऊँ एंड एक्चुअली मेक अ गुड थिंग आउट ऑफ इट. आई डोंट वांट एनीबॉडीज मनी, मुझे पैसे इन्वॉल्वमेंट चाहिए ही नहीं, कोई और पैसे इन्वॉल्वमेंट करेगा, जस्ट मेक माय प्रोजेक्ट आउट ऑफ इट. तो इसमें हमारी एक डीएससी हुई थी, तो मैंने ऐसे जो आइडियाज डिस्कस करे थे इनिशियली डीएम के साथ, तो उन्हें देन हम ऐसे बेस्टीज हो गए. हम टेक्स्ट पे भी आइडियाज डिस्कस करते थे, मैं वो मुझे बुलाती रहती थी, हाँ कृति वी कैन डू दिस, वी कैन डू दैट. तो ऐसे हमारी डीएससी हुई. तो जो आइडियाज डिस्कस किए थे डीएम से वो सब मैंने प्रेजेंट किए कि ये चीजें डिस्ट्रिक्ट में कर सकते हैं, ये पोटेंशियल चीजें हैं. फिर एक पढ़ा लिखा इंसान दिख गया हमको, नाबार्ड का डीएम. So basically he is a very nice fellow. So he is also new to the administration and हमारी एज के हैं. तो he is also stuck in a situation that he wants to work but उनको कोई काम करने बंदा मिल नहीं रहा साथ में, मतलब like minded individual. तो वो नाबार्ड वाले सर ने पकड़ लिया कि हाँ इसके साथ कुछ कर सकते हैं. तो वो फिर मुझे ले गए कि मैम हमने भी ये ट्रेनिंग वो की है, अब ट्रेनिंग के बाद हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम साथ में काम करते हैं. तो उसमें फिर मेरा प्रोजेक्ट पूरा डेवलप होना शुरू हुआ. शुरू के 4 महीने तो मैं सिर्फ रिपोर्ट्स बना रही थी, मैं देख रही थी अच्छा ठीक है, उसका कोई सोल्यूशन नहीं, कोई मतलब नहीं निकल रहा था. डिस्ट्रिक्ट में नोबडी न्यू मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, तो कि हाँ ये मैडम आई है, ये डेटा मांगती रहती है, ये रिपोर्ट बनाती रहती है, हो गया. फिर उसके बाद फाइनली आई गॉट दैट एक जो नहीं रे ऑफ
Recognition, yes.
हाँ एक जगह से सनलाइट आ रही होती है, फिर एकदम से पूरा ब्राइट हो जाता है, एकदम वो वाला मोमेंट था मेरे लिए. तो उसके बाद हमने स्टार्ट किया, तो फिर वो सर मुझे ले गए, तब ट्रेनिंग ऑलरेडी हो चुकी थी, तो सर मुझे उस ट्रेनिंग में ले गए. तो ऐसा नहीं, अब ना मेरी ना बहुत एकदम, क्योंकि इसके पहले मैं जिस एरिया में काम कर रही थी इट वाज करियर काउंसलिंग. तो ऐसे ही मुझे आइडेंटिफाई पहले कर लिया था एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट में कि ये एक लड़की है, ये बढ़िया बोल लेती है और प्लस ये यंग भी है, तो इसको लेके जाएंगे हॉस्टल में तो लड़कियां रिलेट कर पाएंगी और मतलब इजीली बात कर पाएंगी. तो मेरे को करियर काउंसलिंग ले जाने लगे. तो इस पॉइंट तक मैं एकदम प्रो हो गई थी लोगों से बात करने के लिए, ठीक है. तो आई कुड कंफर्टेबली टॉक टू पीपल एंड क्योंकि शुरू में ना ऐसा होता हमारा मुंह नहीं खुलता ज्यादा लोगों के सामने. तो फिर तो इस टाइम तक मैं प्रो हो गई थी. तो मैंने बढ़िया जाके वहाँ अपने आइडियाज पिच किया कि देखो आपने ये ट्रेनिंग ली है, इसका ये कर सकते हो, ये कर सकते हो, ये कर सकते हो. एंड टू माई सरप्राइज दे एक्चुअली फॉलोड थ्रू. मुझे लगा ही नहीं था, मुझे लगा था कि ये सुन के निकाल देंगे, बट टू माई सरप्राइज वो नाबार्ड वाले जो सर थे, ही मेड श्योर कि मैंने जो आइडियाज दिए वो इम्प्लीमेंट हो, एक मुझे प्रोडक्ट ला के दे, फिर उसके बाद हम देखें प्रोडक्ट का क्या करना है. तो ऑल्दो बहुत दिमाग खराब हुआ, क्योंकि अब मैं उन्हें समझा ही नहीं पा रही हूँ कि पोस्ट कार्ड लोग खरीदते हैं, पोस्ट कार्ड क्या होता है, फ्रिज मैग्नेट क्या होता है, और ये जो वो दे आर लाइक कि मैडम ये इतनी छोटी सी चीज है, कौन खरीदेगा, मैम इसका पोस्ट कार्ड का क्या करेंगे, ये थोड़ी कोई खरीदेगा। वो मानने को ही तैयार नहीं थे। फिर उसके बाद मैंने बोला यार मैं खरीद लूंगी, आप मेरे को बना के दो 10-10। फिर मैंने खुद खरीदा, मैंने अपने दोस्तों को भेजा, फिर मैंने उन दोस्तों की फीडबैक उनको दिखाए कि देखो इनको मैंने दिया, इनको इतना अच्छा लगा, तो आप और बनाओ। तो उनने वही मेरे
I was the
विश्वास पे चीजें और
customer.
बनाए। आई हैव ऑलवेज बीन द फर्स्ट कस्टमर फॉर एवरी प्रोडक्ट, क्योंकि उनको लगता ही नहीं ये चीज बेच सकते हैं। तो
Correct.
ऐसे ऐसे करके धीरे धीरे फिर हमने फिर प्रोडक्ट ये एग्जीबिशंस में लगाया। फिर डीएम को तो एकदम बहुत खुशी हो गई वो, कि भैया ये तो बहुत अच्छी चीज हो गई। फिर उसके बाद जो डीएम ने मेरे को पकड़ा है, अब हम बेस्ट फ्रेंड्स हैं। पहले तो उनको थोड़ा सा था कि अच्छा हम सिर्फ आइडियाज डिस्कस करते थे, अब तो अब पूरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट में पता है इन मैडम से कोई पंगे नहीं लेने, क्योंकि इन मैडम से आप पंगे लोगे तो पता चला डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर को। और वो इतनी प्यारी है ना, मतलब आई डोंट हैव सो मच रिस्पेक्ट फॉर एनीबॉडी इन माय लाइफ देन माय डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर। शी इज सो इंस्पायरिंग, शी इज सो मोटिवेटिंग। वो मतलब वो इतना ज्यादा, जो आपको नॉर्मल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव वर्क्स जो होते हैं, जो सारे कलेक्टर्स को करने ही होते हैं, उसके अलावा शी टेक्स इनिशिएटिव, जिसके लिए ना उनके पास कोई फंडिंग है, ना उनके पास सीएम का प्रेशर है, ना उनके पास कमिश्नर का प्रेशर है। शी डज दिस ओनली बिकॉज शी वांट्स टू डू समथिंग गुड फॉर द प्लेस। सो शी मतलब बहुत इंस्पायरिंग काम करती है, एंड शी मेक श्योर अगर वो कुछ अच्छा इनिशिएटिव ले रही है तो वो मुझे इंक्लूड करने उस चीज में। और प्लस वो ना मुझे फालतू की चीजों में इंक्लूड नहीं करती, वो मुझे सिर्फ स्किल डेवलपमेंट की चीजों में ही इंक्लूड करती है, इज अ वेरी गुड थिंग। मतलब कभी कभार मुझसे पीपीटी वगैरह में हेल्प ले लेती है, वो जेन्युइनली हेल्प जैसे हेल्प लेती हैं, ऐसे नहीं थोप देती कि जाओ पीपीटी बना के लाओ। तो वो हेल्प लेंगी, कृति कुड यू प्लीज हेल्प मी इन दिस, एंड शी इज जस्ट सो स्वीट अबाउट इट। एंड एक बार क्या हुआ था कि हमारी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट प्रेजेंटेशन थी जो पीएम अवार्ड्स के लिए देनी थी, एंड आई वाज इन अहमदाबाद, तो हमारी ट्रेनिंग चल रही थी। So she texted me कि Rati, there's one very important presentation which we have to make. यहाँ district में तो I don't think I can take help from anybody else. I know that you are in training, but could you please tell me at what time you would be available so I can call you. तो मतलब सोचो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर आपको सामने से अपॉइंटमेंट ले रही है कि प्लीज टेल मी व्हाट टाइम इज कन्वीनियंट, बिकॉज शी वाज कंसिडरेट इनफ टू एक्चुअली एक्नॉलेज दैट आई एम इन ट्रेनिंग एंड आई हैव बिजी आवर्स। तो मैंने बोला मैम मेरी 6 बजे तक क्लासेस रहती हैं, मैं आपको 6:30 बजे हम 6:30 बजे बात करते हैं। तो मैम बोलते हैं क्लास के बाद रेस्ट कर लेना, वील टॉक एट 7 o'clock। ओके ओके। फिर मतलब वो बहुत प्यारी है वो,
Yeah,
आई जस्ट लव हर।
very sweet. Even I have a similar experience. Like the day I joined, my district collector was so supportive. Like she knew about MGNF. I went and I was like, "Ma'am, I'm the MGNF. I'm here to join." She's like, "Okay, okay." So I was surprised that she knew about MGNF. I don't know from how, where, what was the reason she knew, but she knew, and it was such a surprise to me, like a happy surprise to me. And every idea that I have put on table to her, she has always agreed, always supported, as in she used to guide me also कहीं मैं गलत जा रही हूँ या whatever, if I need any improvement, she's just like you need to be more aggressive and all that. So she guided me throughout, and I have done जितने भी projects I have done, it's all because of the my CEO and my district collector. They've been so supportive and so sweet. I mean, I can't even have the good words to express my feelings, but genuinely I'm like literally happy that I got this district.
मैं तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में अनाथ हो जाऊंगी, मेरी मैम का ट्रांसफर हो गया तो आई क्राई।
अरे यार मेरे सर का हुआ ना, मैं बहुत रोई।
Oh.
He got
मेरे
transferred
डिस्ट्रिक्ट
in
में तो बहुत
December.
लोग चिढ़ने लगे हैं अब इस पॉइंट पे, क्योंकि बहुत बार ऐसा हुआ है कि किसी ने मुझसे कोई मतलब वो किया, मेरे काम में अड़ंगे लगाया, मैंने मैम को बता दिया, मैम ने एक टीएल में सबके सामने उनकी लंका लगाई है।
Wow.
I even got an opportunity to have a sleepover with my district collector. So हम लोगों का एक yes, it was such a great experience, I'll tell you.
Wow.
So what happened was कि हम लोग we were visiting hostels, जो government hostels रहते हैं ना, छात्रावास as we say, तो scheduled girls and all these. So we wanted to go there and see कि कोई genuine problem है या नहीं है, और उनको skill development में कुछ problem है, अगर कुछ career counseling चाहिए and all that thing. तो my collector was let's go there and see. तो हर officer वहाँ जाके एक एक बार देखेगा. तो मेरे को भी एक जगह जाना पड़ा, एंड आई वेंट टू माय सरप्राइज, शी ऑल्सो केम इन। आई डिडंट न्यू कि वो आने वाली है। आई वाज तो जस्ट चिलिंग अराउंड विद गर्ल्स, टॉकिंग टू देम कि और बताओ कुछ ट्रेनिंग तुम लोग क्या कर सकते हो। लाइक आई वाज टॉकिंग टू देम अबाउट द कंप्यूटर कोर्सेज, और भी अलग, अगर उनको मेहंदी आर्ट सीखनी है या फैशन डिजाइनिंग, टेक्सटाइल, एनीथिंग। आई वाज टॉकिंग टू देम अबाउट ऑल दिस थिंग एंड generally talking, and then my collector walks in. I'm like, okay, what is happening? And then she sat there with me. She's like, okay, what were you talking? I was like, nothing. I was just, talking about different exams that they can take. I was talking to them about CLAT and all that. So she's like, okay. Then she started talking about UPSC. She's like, I'll tell my journey also and all that. So she was sitting there, and then all of a sudden we thought कि चलो हो गया, अब 2-2.5 घंटे हो गए. And then my conductor was like, come Shefali, let's stay the night here. I was like, okay ma'am, why not? So she was like, come then. So I was like, ठीक है. तो there was this bed, एक यहाँ separate bed था, एक इधर था. तो हम दोनों ही, अब बिकॉज वहां पे जो वार्डन थी, शी वाज वेरी स्कैर्ड कि भाई कलेक्टर आके रुकी हुई है और हॉस्टल में क्या हो सकता है इससे ज्यादा बड़ा. एंड आई वाज आल्सो स्कैर्ड. आई वाज लाइक यार मैं मैम के साथ क्या करूंगी, व्हाट आई वाज वेरी वेरी नर्वस. देन वो साइड वाले बेड में शी शिफ्टेड. तो आई वाज लाइक मैं क्या करूं, मैं पैर फैलाऊं नहीं फैलाऊं, शुड आई सिट देयर अंटिल शी स्लीप्स, व्हाट डू आई डोंट नो एनीथिंग. आई वाज लाइक शी इज डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू बिहेव. सो आई वाज लाइक ओके. So I was just sitting. She's like, please, be comfortable. I was like, yes, ma'am. So मैंने somehow I got the courage कि ठीक है मैं blanket निकाल लेती हूँ. इसी तरह ओढ़ के I was sitting, and then she was just lying next to me. And then she was chit chatting with me. Okay, tell me what is your background and all that. I was like, is it really happening? What is going on? Are we best friends now? So we were sitting and chilling. She was just scrolling through her phone. And then उससे पहले when we were talking to the girls, तो she told them कि phone won't use मत करना, it's not a good thing, पढ़ो तुम लोग का time and all that. So luckily I got my novel with me. So I was like, मैम आपके सामने तो phone तो नहीं use कर रही हूँ. I तो just मैंने phone side में रखा. I started reading my book. I was like, I cannot leave this opportunity to leave an impression. So I was reading my book. Ma'am was using her phone. I was like, thank God I bought my novel today. So it was a great night. But then I told her about her IIM Ahmedabad teaching. I got a lot of time because so बहुत सारी बातें करी हमने कि मतलब ट्रेनिंग में क्या होता है, मेरे दिमाग में और क्या क्या आइडियाज हैं एंड ऑल दैट थिंग. इनफैक्ट फर्स्ट मंथ ऑफ आवर फेलोशिप मैंने डिस्ट्रिक्ट में आके ट्रांसजेंडर वेलफेयर कमिटी बना दी थी. लाइक इन द वेरी फर्स्ट मंथ सब कमिटी बन गई थी ट्रांसजेंडर वेल, बिकॉज आई वांटेड टू वर्क विद ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी. तो फर्स्ट मतलब मंथ में आई गॉट 2 committees made, and my collector was involved in that. Like I remember transgenders को भी invited like टू हैव इंटरेक्शन कि उनको क्या क्या स्किल डेवलपमेंट हम करा सकते हैं या कुछ. तो मेरे दिमाग में आइडिया था कि उनको अगर हम ब्यूटी एंड वेलनेस की ट्रेनिंग दे सके एंड दे कैन ओपन देयर ओन पार्लर, बिकॉज उनके लिए दिस इज अ वेरी बिग थिंग. उनको चाहिए होता है बट उनके लिए अलाउ नहीं होता इतना, दे आर नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल इतना ज्यादा. सो आई वांटेड टू वर्क ऑन दैट. तो उनको हमने बुलाया, बट मैम को हम बोलना भूल गए थे. बट देन मैंने सडनली मैम को मैसेज पहुंचाया कि मैम दे आर देयर. मैम को बिना किसी काम के, बिना किसी scheduling के, शी वाज जस्ट लाइक ठीक है, आई विल कम देयर इन 2 minutes. She literally came there in 2 minutes to be in that meeting. I was like, it's a huge thing, so it's a great opportunity. I'm telling you, if you have a good boss, then you can do a lot of things for sure.
Exactly.
One of the drawbacks
Yeah,
which I saw being in Maharashtra is a lot of administrative setup over here is already developed. I mean, the bureaucracy, the people who are supposed to be in charge. So when we are trying to pitch in our suggestions, they are like एक buffer level होता है, इसके आगे जा नहीं पाता वो. So when we have to go to the collector, it's like उसके बीच की जो bureaucracy है class में वाली, it goes filtered through them. So all the important suggestions are lost at that level itself. So that's one of the problems that happens. So when I realized that Latur mila hai district for me, and then I checked out who is my mentor is the district collector. So this guy was IIT Bombay B.Tech Com Science. I am Ahmedabad se. He did MBA, then UPSC. So basically, everything that an Indian parent wants from their child, everything is there. Okay, and I am someone who flunked IIT ka IIT.
Who is this fellow?
golden boy. Golden boy.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
आदर्श बालक.
Sharma ji ka beta, for so called.
Then I looked at my past. I flunked JEE twice. UPSC 3 बार फेल हुआ. IIM की प्रिपरेशन नहीं की, so I am the exact opposite of my DM in that way. So yeah.
Yeah. No, even I mean, but what you're saying is very right. Like the levels of bureaucracy and like our ideas getting lost in that translation to a large extent, right? Like one officer telling it to the other, and then वो Chinese whisper हो जाता है फिर एक point के बाद.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But one
And
way
okay,
finish.
yeah, go ahead.
So one thing that I really helped was 10 years ago, I started learning tennis. बीच में पापा ने पैसे देना बंद कर दिया था, but then I came here, I started earning on my own, and then and the first thing I realized was the ZP CEO, district SP, collector, everyone comes to play tennis. So like, oh yeah, so
Lovely.
that way I was able to.
Great, great,
Yeah,
great.
so
Okay.
that's what, like, you have to find these alternate ways of
Yeah.
socializing or like putting your thoughts through, right? But then what I was saying is that Arunachal is like a very small kind of a community, like when it comes to like number of people or like that. So bureaucracy is, I mean, like the DC, SP, the all in all in a district, so to say, are very easily accessible. I mean, forget DC, SP, MLAs are very easily accessible. Like you can just go to their house and like talk to them and bring their issues to their concern, to their notice and everything, and they actually like work on it also. Like some of them do, and the others are obviously like busy with other stuff and everything. They obviously they have their own work to do in their term that they're there for or whatever. But then this accessibility makes things very easy. Matlab, so for me it was very easy to like pitch ideas to my DC and then also like to brainstorm. So and I am Vishakhapatnam. We have fellows from Andhra and Bihar. So they had like diametrically opposite experiences with their district magistrates and collectors. So wherein they're like, हम हफ्ते में एक बार मिलते हैं 45 seconds के लिए. I'm like, you counted? Okay then. And for me initially it was such that like my DC would call me and like, can you come to the office and like let's talk about this and like what is the update on this, and he was like personally taking updates and everything. So what I did was when the mail had come initially, ki you are allotted such and such district, so I did my I utilized my research skills and found like found him through East Kameng .arn.nic.in whatever, and I called him up ki I am coming to your district. Matlab, obviously not in those words exactly, but yeah. So he knew since before I went to IM Vishakhapatnam that the fellow is coming. And I mean so it also like sort of shows what is the need of having manpower on ground over here, because क्योंकि जिनको utilize करना है वो करते हैं, right? And so I remember the day I was traveling to IIM Visakhapatnam for first academic module, he had texted me saying that we are doing this project with SHG women, some training, and we have a video call today. Can you join? And this is before I went for my first academic module.
Wow.
So I was in the train and I was like, sir, I'm actually traveling today, so my network might not be good. And he's like, it's okay, I understand. Like, okay, whatever. And then when I was in Visakhapatnam, I spoke to him and everything. He arranged for a car from Itanagar to Seppa for me to travel and everything. And he was like, how are you going to travel? And I was like, I'll take a sumo, sir. And fun fact, I had a ligament injury at that time. So when I was on a wheelchair from Vishakhapatnam till Dibrugarh because I could not walk. And then Itanagar, and then I was like, ठीक है, कर लेंगे, we'll brave through it
How
or
much
whatever. But then
adventurous can you be?
बहुत ज्यादा, you have no clue. मतलब वो informal session में और बात करेंगे इसके ऊपर. But then
Please.
and he sent a car and everything. And after a point, of course, I realized that it's not nice to like matlab, take these favors all the time also. And I also I wanted to have that liberty to myself to be able to like travel wherever, whenever type. So matlab, I stopped asking also. And ऐसे भी कौन सा दे ही रहे थे, right? But then
Right.
काम के हिसाब से it was very nice because he was already here for some time, so he gave me the insights about the district and क्या किस area में skill development का काम करना would be easy. तो SHG के network को अच्छे से मतलब exploit किया उसमें, and we did a number of trainings over there with non-farm products, food processing, bamboo cane crafting, handloom. So he did not like really understand what the fellowship was about initially, and then when I explained to him, he was a very expressive person. So he goes, 2 years, you're going to be here for 2 years. I'm like, yes sir. And like, I won't be here for that long, but okay. And he was like, there's a lot that we can do in 2 years and everything. And he just like showed me his entire 1 year plan that he had with utilizing the SHG network and like setting up different training centers, and like in the end federating all SHGs of the district into a cooperative society and putting up a market sort of place. So we have this market, it's called the local market, but C ke jagah K hai. And usi mein we have a local cafe also, which serves like fast food and local cuisines. And the market is basically where we sell matlab ek part uska farm products ka, ek part non farm products ka. And the SHGs did not have a place to like sell their products and everything. So now all SHGs, their resources mobilized, and it's easier for them to through this space sort of sell. So it was very nice to be involved in like small projects which eventually led to something this big also, and like see something really materialize into something in front of your own eyes, and it's like अंदर से बहुत rewarding लगता है. And this local cafe was inaugurated just before he left, like just before his transfer. And at one point I remember it was so overwhelming for me, because I was like, okay, this is something that I have been working on since a year now, like in bits and pieces, and now it's finally happening. And ek point pe like I went inside and I had a moment to myself and everything, and then it's just like very emotional also when you see your work so to like take such a form or whatever. But yeah, and it was also I mean, he knew like where all to like utilize my skills or whatever. So because he knew that ठीक है law graduate है तो तुम GI पे काम करो, तुम GI के application पे काम करो. तो he made me do this geographical this application for the Nishi textile prints over here, and that is like done and everything. It's just due for public hearing now. So such kind of work, and सबको बुला करके like ये skill वाली मैडम है and ये lawyer है तो इनसे काम करवाइए. And then that also sort of so after a point I stopped meeting him so regularly, because he introduced me with the HODs, तो direct liaising हो गया था एक तरह से, and then it made work very easy that way. And क्योंकि farm training non farm training कर रहे हो तो फिर you need convergence with Department of Agriculture, Horticulture, KVK, I mean SRLM, and Department of Textile and Handicrafts and everything. And so like all of these of course industries to hai hi, so all of these departments also sort of came in matlab ek bahut hi smooth convergence ho gaya, which like one thing led to another. And then these people started calling me for like different programs to ho rahe the, to like हाँ यहाँ पे भी कुछ हो रहा है तो so वो just like things start falling in place.
Flowing, yeah.
So
It's like identification हो जाता है, उसके बाद they really call
Yeah,
you, मतलब
शुरू
हर
शुरू में
department wants you.
शुरू में हम डिपार्टमेंट के पीछे काम दे दो उसके बाद डिपार्टमेंट हमारे पीछे,
उसके बाद
मैडम
वो
काम कर
हमारे
दो, मैडम
पीछे
काम कर दो.
I have a question though, क्या किसी के पास ऐसा कोई पर्सनल लेवल पे कोई ऑफिसर ऑफ द ऑफिस आज लेके आया कि लिसन मैम हमारा ये केस आप कर दो? लाइक लिटरली दिस हैपेंड टू मी सो मेनी टाइम्स, पीपल कमिंग टू मी एंड दे लाइक मैम हमारे 20,000 रुपए फंस गए, किसी ने दिया नहीं है, मेरे पास स्क्रीनशॉट है मगर फोन पे का, मैं क्या करूं? ओके
यार मुझे तो हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर्स वगैरह आते हैं ना, एक ये अपीयरेंस वगैरह के, वो हाई कोर्ट के डॉक्यूमेंटेशन सारे इंग्लिश में है, प्लस वो किसी को लीगल लैंग्वेज समझ में नहीं आती, तो ऐसे कॉल कर इतनी गंभीरता से बुलाएंगे कि मैम आपसे ना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट काम है, आप अभी फ्री है क्या? एक बार तो मैं कलेक्ट्रेट में थी, मैंने कहा मैंने कलेक्ट्रेट में मेरे को थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, बोलते मैडम हम गाड़ी भिजवा देते हैं आप आ जाइएगा. मैंने कहा ठीक है. तो उन्होंने गाड़ी, मैंने पता नहीं क्या इंपॉर्टेंट काम है, फिर देखा तो उनका वो हाई कोर्ट से अपीयरेंस के लिए कुछ आया होगा, तो कोई केस है, तो मेरे को फाइल पकड़ा दी कि मैम ये ना समझा दो इसमें क्या सीन है, क्या डिसमिस हो गया, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा. मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है. ऐसे बहुत बार हुआ है कि
मेरे साथ भी होता है,
चीजें डिकोड
नोटिफिकेशंस आ रहे हैं, जजमेंट्स आ रहे हैं, दे लाइक मैम क्या लिखा है इसमें, क्या आ रहा है? आई एम लाइक ओके ठीक है लाइए दी कुछ तो, आई बी इन टच विद दिस.
Exactly, right.
In my case, it was like I had briefly practiced in commercial real estate and corporate law. तो यहाँ पे ऐसे हुआ कि ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर दे हैव ट्रेनिंग सेंटर्स एंड ऑल, तो वहाँ पे उन्होंने लीज एग्रीमेंट बनाया है फॉर 11 months और डेट गलत की है, नोटरी किया है, एंड द नोटरी इज सिटिंग इन देहरादून वेयर एज द पार्टीज आर ओवर हियर. जिस ओनर का नाम लिखा है that guy is not the owner, he is actually the trainer, the training provider वहाँ पे. तो ऐसे randomly I pointed out so many mistakes to our like the assistant commissioner and like oh shit इतना सब होता है like हाँ.
हाँ, ये तो मतलब ये चिंदी ड्राफ्टिंग तो इतना करवाया है ना, जितना ट्रेनिंग पार्टनर्स आ रहे हैं सबके साथ सर्विस एग्रीमेंट ड्राफ्ट करो. एट दिस पॉइंट मैं आंख बंद करके सर्विस एग्रीमेंट ड्राफ्ट कर सकती हूँ, याद हो गया है पूरा. मतलब लीज डीड ड्राफ्ट करो and all of that. And ये चीज again what Krati was also saying, right? Like same thing they made. I mean, just there were some administrative cases and they would be like just go
पढ़ लो.
document once. हाँ, पढ़ लो एक
ये
बार
तो होता
करके.
है.
And
और ये
एक बार
इंग्लिश के
तो
साथ भी बहुत होता है.
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
इंग्लिश
And
का तो सारे ही होता है, कोई भी इंग्लिश में
हाँ.
डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होती है, इन मैडम से एक बार प्रूफ रीड करवा लेना,
Forward.
फिर वो प्रूफ रीड के लिए सामान मेरे पास आता है, बट वो इतना गंदा लिखा
हाँ.
होता है ना, मेरा ईमान नहीं मानता कि मैं उसको ऐसे ही छोड़ दूं.
पूरा लिखना पड़ता है वापस
यार
से. कोई
एक्चुअली आई
डॉक्यूमेंट
थिंक
इंग्लिश
इट
में
कम्स
है,
विद
it
द
has to come
प्रोफेशन.
to us.
हमको परफेक्शन की इतनी आदत है ना, एक फुल स्टॉप और कॉमा भी यहाँ वहाँ होगा, हमारा
हाँ.
दिल धक 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 करता है.
that comes with the legal training.
एग्जैक्टली. तो जब तक मैं उसको पूरा लिखना दूं, मतलब मैं डिलीट कर देती हूँ कि आई राइट इट अगेन बिकॉज आई डू नॉट लाइक योर राइटिंग. इवन दिस हैपेंस विद मैं और शेफाली दोनों हम पल्स के एडिटर्स हैं. तो किसी का राइटअप आता है एंड जो राइटअप मेरे पास आता है ना, वो ओरिजिनल फॉर्म सामने वाला ढूंढ नहीं पाएगा, बिकॉज मैं उसको पूरा रीराइट, मुझे पसंद ही नहीं आती यार किसी की राइटिंग. अब आप एक चीज को ऐसे लिखोगे, फिर नेक्स्ट लाइन में उसको ही ऐसे ऐसे करके लिख दोगे, तो यार व्हाट यू कैन से इन 2 lines, व्हाई डू हैव टू राइट 10 lines फॉर दैट?
So okay, that
So-
thing happened with me during AM1 when I think online जिनका AM हुआ था, we did not receive the what do you say the DNS
Yeah,
allowance. Yeah.
हाँ,
So
DA नहीं मिला था.
our cohort had drafted such a ridiculous mail for Nimi.
अच्छा अच्छा.
Draft
Remember
करके इतनी
Vedant, I
सारी-
think we spoke about it once.
yeah,
And we
right.
were randomly कि मैंने तो ऐसे किया था कि इन लोगों ने ना कुछ भी लिख दिया, so I was like, listen, तुम बैठ जाओ, मैं करती हूँ. अपन करेगा. फिर उसके बाद now I became the official mail writer of the cohort.
Yeah, that's true.
And
लिख
even
दो
very
अपनी.
very
इसीलिए
recently,
मैंने इनिशिएटिव लिया ही नहीं कभी.
yeah, and even very recently
मेरे यहाँ
people
कृति सब
actually-
संभाल लेती है, तो
अरे-
I don't get to be there. I just like Krati, you go.
Now
So
I'll do that
recently
again.
we had this thing ना, increment के लिए people had drafted a long email and the reason was like inflation बढ़ रहा है and all. It was so ridiculous. I was laughing at it like, okay, fine.
Listen, people are going to be like, okay, ये बुराई क्यों कर रहे हो तुम लोग लॉयर हो, तो ठीक है.
यार
what
मेरे
to
साथ
do?
तो पता है लिंक्डइन पोस्ट के साथ लिए भी होता है, जैसे अगर कोई चीज हुई है, जैसे कोई सेशन हुआ है, सो पीपल कम टू मी लाइक कि कृति तुम लिंक्डइन के लिए कुछ लिखोगी ना, मुझे भी भेज देना, आई विल कॉपी इट.
Wow.
Remember Krati, once
मतलब
it happened
शर्म
to
भी नहीं आ
MGNF?
रही ना.
लिखती यार लोगों को.
I remember very clearly जब हम लोग का फेलोशिप में सिलेक्शन हुआ था, कृति ने लिंक्डइन पोस्ट शेयर किया था that I'm selected for such and such fellowship. That post also got copied and I was sending it to Krati.
And copied by random people from different IIMs I do not even know. And मुझे ना मेरी उसमें आ रहा है, फीड में आ रहा है, like यार ये देखा देखा लग रहा है. मैं और शेफाली डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, लोगों में इतना भी ईमान धर्म नहीं है.
क्रेडिट दे देते यार.
पूरा कट कॉपी पेस्ट कर रहे हैं ना, बस अपना नाम अलग वो किया है और IIM का नाम चेंज किया है.
क्रेडिट तो दे देते यार.
Okay, when it comes to drafting, okay, so Krati and I, we have discussed about this lifestyle for environment, Niti Aayog ka this mission thing, right? So my idea was selected for phase 2. उसका submission deadline कल तक था. So it was supposed to be sort of like an academic research paper type, okay? So sort of plus a proposal कि क्या करना है आपको idea. Then I had written all the masala in it, but I just needed something to sound more academic, more scholarly. मतलब तो शायद chat GPT से थोड़े मतलब research paper के references ले लेता हूँ. So I put all those references yesterday morning, okay, and then बाकी पूरा paper मतलब edit करके in the evening 5:30ish मैं सोच रहा था submit करूँ, उससे पहले I started just checking. Maybe in those papers there are some more ideas discussed. Chat might have left it out. So I started searching even random links. The Guardian, BBC, इनके भी links open नहीं हो रहे हैं. And like those links do not exist. The academic papers, they did not exist. Which is when I realized that it was generating fake citations with, yeah.
Shit.
So this, yeah, I'll tell you. So this, I don't trust ChatGPT, okay? I don't trust
Nah,
any
I
of
have
these
also never
artificial
used it.
intelligence
Never.
जो भी है, ठीक है? क्योंकि so I mean again drafting का काम मिलता रहता है district में, वो तो I mean not only drafting, documentation and all of that, जैसे PM awards का somebody was talking about over here, so like I also worked on like such awards, coach awards, and like this Indian Express का there was EGA, excellence in governance awards and all that, right? So and again like coming from that legal training we become थोड़ा वैसे particular कि ऐसे ही चाहिए हमको, है ना, मतलब we want it in a particular format, standard and everything, and अगर उससे इधर उधर होता है तो, and I was very frustrated I think at one point when I was working on EGA, and I was like I'm not able to like writing block or whatever, and so I was like okay ठीक है, let's try this new invention that everyone has been talking about, and देखें क्या है ये आविष्कार, कुछ काम का है कि नहीं है, and it was so useless. And it was so disappointing and useless, and I'm just sitting there and like I did not even read the whole of it, and a few friends were over and everything, and I was like, guys, artificial intelligence is artificial only, it's not real.
No match to human brains.
Yeah.
It's
And
complete, it's
lawyer
lawyer
Yeah.
तो यार मतलब चांस ही नहीं है.
यार हमारी ड्राफ्टिंग स्किल्स को कोई नहीं कम्पीट कर सकता, ये तो फैक्ट है, ठीक है.
Let's
एक
stop
ऐसे नहीं है
flaunting,
जिसमें मेरे
guys.
को A+
Come
नहीं मिला
on.
आज तक,
Let's
एक
be
ऐसे नहीं है.
modest for once.
Okay. So can we call this end of part 1?